Hello, light seekers. This is H.T. Waters Tarot, and today we have 3 piles to talk about Unblock the Muse. Explore what is currently blocking the muse and how to move past it. So this is for all our creatives, and but everyone is creative, just an FYI. So, but if you're struggling with something in particular, like in your artistic field or writing or such, writer's block, or just can't seem to get into the necessary zone, this reading should help you. That's the intention, which is what I put out here. So I'll have time stamps below, but the first pile is the amethyst sphere. The next one is the moss agate moon, pile 2, and pile 3 is the lepidolite. Really pretty. I've never actually seen this crystal before, or stone. Lepidolite tower. It's a tower. That's what they call them, towers. I hope you can see that okay. So pretty purple. And the mouse agate, one of my favorite stones. Beautiful colors in there. And I got this from Even Sage, which is an online Etsy store. I just want to give a shout out because they do a good job with quality stones. Obviously, I'm not getting paid for any of this, just something I want to mention. I like to, what you give out is what you receive in the sense, or just for the sake of doing it. Beautiful note from her too about her crystals. So Even Sage on Etsy. So take a deep breath in, exhale. Take a deep breath in, exhale. Take a deep breath. One more, last. Stay there, my friend. Oh well, that's one. Take a deep breath in, exhale. Which stone are you drawn to? And use your heart center to make that determination. And we'll see you in your reading. Thank you. Hi, pile 1. If you picked the amethyst sphere, which wouldn't stay in place, but it's because it's so perfectly round like a marble, this is your reading. So the first card is Fool's Embrace, and this is from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. And let me just read it so we get a stage setting for what is blocking the muse. The pain of life is sometimes unbearable. When we're in it, we think that pain, that loss, that betrayal will always be woven through our continuity of existence. We are kept hostage by the way we identify with the pain and what we make it to mean. If we let it, it becomes etched into us like a tattoo. So, and we'll go through releasing this, but basically it's saying that your muse is being blocked because you're, in a sense, stuck in your pain body. If you've ever read Eckhart Tolle, Tolle, and The Power of Now, he talks a lot about the pain body and what that comes from historically. That's that part of you, and that part of you that you probably gain pain from your childhood, or even in adulthood you can hold on to things, but most of the time it's childhood that you get stuck in a particular thought process and it creates a negative narrative for yourself. So that's what this is suggesting, is that there's something that's distracting you in that pain body that probably needs to be released, but you can also use that as a muse. But let's get some clarifying cards. Just so you know, I'm using the transparent tarot. You can see that. The transparent tarot, I really like this idea of layering tarot cards on one after the other. So let me shuffle them in front of you and ask get the right cards. I'm going to draw 5. Always shuffle 3 times. Take the cards on the top. Thank you. What for pile 1? For pile 1, what do they need to... What blocking your creativity? What that block stems for? A hidden strength. It's those blocks. So what blocking me creatively? First card. Outcome is the last card. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's take this top card. And the first card we have is the 4, which I just want to make sure I remember what the 4 is. Let's see. Oh, there it is. The Emperor. So this is the Emperor. So if you can see it, it's sort of the master of your dominion kind of idea, where you're looking at a cityscape. So let's take the second card and put it on top of that. I'm going to put this over here. Hopefully it isn't easy to see these, but they're very cool. And then what we've got in front of that is the 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords is the idea of a stagnation. So that's, where's that block stemming from? So this idea of being caught in that pain body and staying put. The Emperor is the idea of wanting to, you're trying too hard almost. You're wanting to move on, but it's not working, and you're having to figure out what. And then this is your hidden strength, which is a very positive card. This is your 9 of Cups, which is often called the wish fulfillment. So your hidden strength is that the power lies within you. You have the ability to make your wishes come true. And there's a lot, and that's also a strength though, because the 9 of Cups is all about emotion, and you've got lots of emotion in there. So it's that idea of being able to keep in touch with that pain body, those pain, and utilize it to your benefit in your creative way. It becomes the muse itself. And this one is the 6, which is, in traditional tarot, is the yin and yang lovers. The idea of a choice on top. So that is really neat, because what it is encompassing that whole idea of love and emotions even more layers, and that will help you release that block, is making that choice. It's the choices within you. So I hope that makes sense. So that's the Lovers, that's the Transparent Tarot, the Lovers, and on top of that is, in the end, yeah, this is good. This is, I mean, people sometimes don't like this card, but I think it's a great card. It's actually the Tower moment. So it's number 16 on the main the main tarot deck. The Tower is number 16. So the outcome is that there will be a revolution within you, which will get you unblocked and will move you forward, transmute you forward. So the block is within your control, obviously, but you're going to have to potentially go deep. And remember, change is constant. There's nothing to fear in change. So let me just reiterate. The Emperor. It's like you're trying too hard. The master of your dominion. You really want to move forward. It's a very strong card. But you're maybe thinking too hard on it, and it's giving you some stagnation. It's like logically you think, oh, I should move forward, and you're not, and you become stagnant. And the 9 of Cups is implying and helping you by saying you're a master of your emotions in the end. You can get anything you want. You can get your wishes fulfilled. And And it basically is saying there's a choice here, and this is a mental choice that you can do this, but don't try too hard, is what it's saying. And the suggested revolution, don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of that change, whatever that will be. But that internal pain body, or maybe even external forces, you need to take control. You need to take back your control. But you have to go within to do that, and stop the stagnation. So the Nine of Cups is all about that emotional attunement, in a sense, and making the choice mentally to work with your mental capacity and a marriage of that choice to mentally turn away from that which has created that stagnation. Okay, so I'm gonna also, I like these Soul Symphony cards because what they do is offer some insight into how you're feeling about certain things that might be causing you disillusionment. And that's the word that came, disillusionment. What may be causing you this? And maybe that's because you feel so stuck that you feel that you're no longer creative. But this is saying, don't be afraid to change. Move it forward. You're going to be okay. You have that power. You have that power to make that wish come through. So to that end, let's pick a couple of inspired by you, songs, emotional bond, telepathic love. Okay, this is good. So listen to music. That's what I'm getting. Other people also think that other people are inspired by you. So whatever and this is a very creative card. Look at that. That is so cool. So use songs, maybe listen to some music. That will help break through this. And don't be afraid to use your psychic, telepathic abilities to get to that muse, to understand that. So you can have that marriage, the choice of a marriage within yourself to that muse. Utilize that pain body, that previous hurt or such, to sing. I think Adele does this really well, the singer. She really channels that pain. Taylor Swift also talks about using her breakups as a way to create her music. I think that's very powerful. It really takes you beyond the pain and transmutes it directly into something very positive. So stay away from social media. That's what I'm getting here. You may be also, that might be feeding your pain body. There's a relationship or something in your past that caused you this pain body, and you're looking too much on their social media. So you're going to have to move past that. And one last card, just to jealousy, talking behind back, being envious, petty, attention seeking. Yeah. So again, try not to focus on others. Part of your past may be creating this, and others being jealous of you. Actually, that's what I'm hearing. Other people's are actually jealous of you and your social media, and it may be apparent on the social media. Haters gonna hate, shake it off. That's what I'm hearing. And trust me, I'm not I like Taylor Swift, but it's not my kind of music. So I just think she's very admirable for what she did. So just so you know, that music doesn't usually come to my head. It's unusual. I'm more of a 60s gal. So just so you know, that's just spirit talking to me and telling me that shake it off. You've got to shake it off. There's some stuff going on here around you that you need to put behind you. Okay, so that was the soul. And one more last card. My lovely Green Witch's Oracle deck, which will provide some guidance as far as healing, moving through the pain body and the blocks. I'll pile one to move through this unblock. And I'm going to go back also to I promised you to go back to the shaman's dream and to give you what it says too. But I want to go through just one more card here. Is it one? Yeah, just the top one. So, recycling, breaking down problems. Okay, now that's interesting. That I like. So this whole idea that you really need, and this is the Green Witch's Oracle deck. Yeah, so change, so smaller pieces, maybe breaking down this pain. So I just had this inspiration. So if you get a bad comment or a negative comment, channel that energy into something on your paintbrush or in a writing. There's this great song of someone who took all their haters' comments, and they were on America's Got Talent, or I believe it was America's Got Talent, and she wrote this great song about all of her haters and what they made in comments, and some things like "You wail like a cat" was one of them, and she made it into a song, again transmuting whatever negativity is around her to create an amazing song. It's really cool. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube if you look it up. But that's that idea of breaking down the problem, taking it in smaller bites. The mushroom card supports you to break down problems into smaller issues and work to solve them separately to make incremental advances in life. The discoveries you make with every step forward can be used to nourish and enrich future projects. Yeah, see, enriching future projects. This whole idea of don't try so hard, because what it's saying is it's too big. The empire is too big. You need to take it down, break it down, and that has kept you stalled. And if you break it down, you will find the necessary creativity and muse, and you will find that balance. So remember the pearl, and I'm going back to the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Remember, the pearl can't be created without the gritty sand causing discomfort and acting as a catalyst in the oyster. Your pearl is discovered in radical acceptance that everything has value. All is well now and will be well. Remember that today as you feel the fool's embrace. Yeah, so this is all about remember, this is all part of the journey, and transmuting the pain will help you with your muse. Use it as a muse. Use it as a muse, but break it down into smaller parts, right? And take that energy and make something better. Okay, so pile one, I hope that helps. Thank you for joining me, and like and subscribe as we can continue to grow this community. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello, pile two. If you picked the moss agate in this pile, the green moss agate, or not just moss agate, I believe is the name of it, but it's a moon shape. It's really beautiful. I love the colors in that. Okay. This is your card. Pile two. Covenant, sacred contract. So let me just read, and this will need some clarifying cards, but I wanted to give you again the foundation, and this is from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. Commitment, sacred contract, the greater good. You are being invited now by the universe to enter into a sacred contract. The covenant card may also be a call to recognize that an ancient agreement you made with spirit needs to be renewed or canceled and torn up. And hopefully I'll get some clarification about this as far as it unblocking the muse. It may be that you need to cancel and tear this up, but as I mentioned, I need clarifying cards on that. So the covenant must be founded on the truth, not your truth or his truth or her truth, but the greater truth that takes the destiny of all into account. So I will go over that a little bit, but you may be nervous also about actually signing just physical contracts, but I will get into that more as we go through, and I will come back to the Shaman's Dream Oracle book and read more about this to give you clarification. But let's go through and get some clarifying cards using the transparent tarot. I really like this. I know it doesn't show up that well on video, but hopefully you can bear with me as I read these, because I do think they have a way of lining up, which also inspires me to read them intuitively, a bit like using a crystal ball in a sense. The imagery starts to take shape as you pile them on top of each other. So for pile 2, what messages do you have about unblocking the muse? What is blocking you? Creatively. Where does it stem from? And a hidden strength. What will help release this block? All from the top. Thank you. Okay, appreciate that. Okay, so the first card is the 10 of Swords. Okay, yeah. So there's some history here. Again, what this is stemming from, maybe feeling that you have taken on too much and you're not getting credit. And this is like making you feel like you need to give up. And the cards are telling you, obviously, so that's the 10 of Swords, which is, I kind of see the 10 of Swords as a dramatic, making sure I got it right here. It's a dramatic card. Talking about how you're feeling that you yourself aren't moving forward, and you're seeing, it's sort of like seeing only the bad in everything. It's a bit of a feeling like you're being taken advantage of, like you're not getting what you need or deserve. And this is the King of Pentacles. So that's kind of interesting, because the King of Pentacles is actually holding up the drama of the 10 of Swords. And that's where the block is stemming from. That's interesting. So let me just keep going, because, and this is the 6, yeah. So basically you feel like, so the Pentacles is like a giving card. So maybe you're stuck in a matter of giving too much, that maybe you need to pay the bills. Maybe that's what's going on, and you feel like you're a martyr to those bills, that you're not getting what you need. Because the 6 of Cups is about giving and receiving, but this is also a hidden strength. But what it's suggesting here is that you need to figure out a little bit of balance with that. And the juggling that needs to occur is related to that. And it's related to the 7 of Pentacles. So I'm getting a lot of Pentacles here, which is really interesting. I just see a lot of Pentacle energy, which is a very practical energy about getting paid and being paid for what you do. And maybe that's causing some blockage as far as what you creatively do. Like you think that you have to do everything in order to make ends meet, and this is creating a trap, which is what this is. This is the Devil card. So figuring out how to release those chains is what the covenant is about. So what I'm seeing is actually you need to talk to your guides about potentially tearing up some sort of spiritual covenant that you've had, that you feel that has created this trap. So thinking of releasing that, either through your own ceremony of bondage cutting, I suppose the word is, or when you have a cord with something or someone, and you feel that it needs cutting, you can just envision it. I typically listen to something like a shamanic shamanic drums, and envision using the cord in a very, and I'm not talking about violence. All it is you're cutting that cord between you and someone else, or you and a particular, what you feel is a burdensome agreement. Maybe the agreement is that you're put into a situation where you feel like you can't move on from being the moneymaker in a family, or you can't move on from being what society has told you you need to be like, and you need to cut some cords to release that bondage. So let me move on to the Soul Symphony card deck, which gives us some insight into what potentially is making you also feel blocked around this covenant. What's blocking? What are the emotions? Clarity on what's... Thank you. One. So, self-love, yeah. If you're feeling burdened by other people, that will stop you from moving forward because you feel burdened by other things. So you need to feel that self-love first before you can get out of a situation where you feel like you're burdened by cords, chains. Coming towards, so holding back. So you've been holding back on some decisions maybe. And so that has stopped you from moving forward too. And so it is suggesting that you leave something behind. And that's what I was talking about, cord cutting. You've got to leave this imprisonment mindset that is keeping you locked in to paying the bills, to being, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't pay the bills, don't get me wrong. But what I'm trying to say is that you're probably focusing too much on that, which is making you exhausted, and you're not able to move forward with what is calling you creatively. And this will open up the muse. So don't hold back. Or you feel like whatever you do creatively has to make money, and it doesn't. And you think about just doing it because for the sheer heck of it, right? You don't need to do that. You just do it because you're having fun. And this comes from self-care and self-love. And making that decision that needs to be done comes from self-love, right? So when you get to a point where you like who you are so much that it's easier to make decisions then, because you know what is your passion, what you want to do, right? And leave that behind. Cut those cords. So thank you for that. I hope that helps. So one last card, and then we'll go back to the Shaman's Dream to talk about, and I'm going to read from the green. I'm going to shuffle in the Green Witch's Oracle deck. Just get one card. One, clarity, because there's blocks and chains. So they can get in touch with their muse. Just the top card. Thank you. All right, second card, maybe two cards, just to make sure I'm not missing something. Yeah, fog. Okay, so prosperity, luck, and love. Obscurity, feeling lost. So yeah, so the chains are making you feel lost, which is focused on the fact that you've been working with prosperity. Maybe you've been focusing too much on the material, which is blocking you. And the material being, maybe it's a physical contract, the material, but I'm not getting that sense actually. It seems to me that it's more of something emotionally, spiritually, that you might have made. Because if you don't know this, if you're new to spirituality in general, there is a belief out there that we have absolute free will. We make all these choices before, and this is just a playground, right? We are spirits in a physical body, actually. This is just a dream state in a sense. So we have control in the end, and some of these things around us are just learning processes, and you're feeling like you don't feel like there's a clear way out, which is what the chains are binding you. But if you work with your self-love and make some decision and leave these chains behind, leave these ghosts behind, do a cord cutting ceremony. And as I said, it's quite easy to do. You will be free of all of this, and we'll get back to that prosperity based on just giving and receiving, not you being burdened by it. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Also, I get the sense that you may have children, and that's part of the responsibility you feel materially, which is perfectly fine. So that was the green. I think I showed you that already, but the Green Witch's Oracle deck. So let's go back to the shaman's dream. And it's important that you understand what you are signing up for. Be sure to read the fine print, so do not commit something you will soon regret or that will compromise your integrity. Do not hesitate to put all your own cards on the table so that your motives and desires are transparent and nothing is left in the darkness. When shadow elements remain hidden, the covenant breaks down and becomes a contract with an unspoken dark side that is inevitably fulfilled. So yeah, again, the cord cutting, I think, is what it would be important in this, as far as the old contract. So even tearing it up if you want to. If it's a physical contract, you may have to go back and read the fine print if you haven't signed something yet. I actually see a signature already been done, though. So if it is a contract, you may want to get some legal advice on that to see if there's a way you can break out of that. But there are some burdens here about the material that is keeping you back. That's what I'm finding in this reading. But you can unblock it. You have that ability. You have the ability to get through the fog with some self-love. This love is right here is about self-love. And the prosperity is feeling that you need to pay those bills, etc. And that is creating the fog around your creativity. So I hope that helps, Pile 2. That's all we have. If you do, please feel free to like and subscribe, and of course leave a comment if you feel inclined. Thank you very much. Hi, Pile 3. If you picked Lepidolite Tower, this will be your reading. And the first card we have is Lost in Space, Needing Direction. Okay. I'm actually getting a kind of a light feeling from this deck. So this sounds more serious than maybe it is. But we'll get clarifying cards. But first of all, I want to read from the Oracle deck that I'm using here, the actual book. And it talks about the lost in space, feeling lost, needing direction. So needing direction. Sometimes in life we lose our way, perhaps falling prey to addictive behaviors, jealousy, comparison, resistance, or fear. This happens especially when we're leveling and genuinely changing for the better. As part of us hiding in the vast expansiveness of space wants to sabotage our progress. In the transformation process, our inner world no longer feels safe or inhabitable as we find that our thoughts and beliefs are morphed beyond recognition. Yeah, so this is again what I'm feeling here. The muse seems to be lost to you right now, and because you're going through forms of spiritual transformation. But we'll get some clarifying cards just to make sure that's the case. What's going on here? And I'm using the Transparent Tarot, which I really like. It's as I mentioned in the other readings, it's a way of layering tarot, so you see different images as you layer it, which is really cool. I really like this deck. So for pile 2, unblock the muse. Explore what is currently blocking the muse and how to move past it. Carl, what's blocking? What's okay? Taking cards. Pile 3. What is blocking the muse? Just 3 shuffles. Taking the top 5. So the first card that we get is the Eight of Wands, which talks about messages. The Eight of Wands, which talks about messages. And then the Ace of Pentacles, which is always exciting because it's about taking whatever the material is and moving it forward, is what I'm seeing with this layering. So the blockage is maybe too much is coming at you, and the block is stemming from, again, it's like messages, distractions. That's what I'm seeing, material distractions. So there's a need to talk and try to, not talk, but focus on what helps you. And there's the Seven of Wands, which talks about a bit of fighting, about a bit of conflict, but you will be triumphant. And that's your hidden strength, is you can actually take those things that come at you, move it forward, and come back because of your inner strength. And then from there you will rise. Yeah, so this is a very spiritual card. This is the 20, which is judgment, which is all about rebirth and judgment, meaning that this is a phoenix, if you can see that, and that kind of takes over everything. Everything is later, and this is all about that spiritual side of things. You're feeling lost, but this is what will happen, is you will rise from the ashes. And that is that spiritual connection. And in the end, we have the Page of Swords. Yeah, so cut through it. And you will free that phoenix. I almost like I'm seeing this cutting away the bondage, so you can move and you can spiritually grow, which will let forth the muse. So very interesting. I'm really getting some positive vibes from this pile. So basically, this is all easily stuff that's easy to overcome, is what I'm hearing. But let me see about the Soul Symphony card deck. Your awakening is what's going to unblock your muse. Give some further clarifying for pile 3 on unblocking the muse. So, self-love. Oh, just got that again. Union. Second chance rebuilding. So there may be some need for self-love. And there is probably a relationship in your life, but it actually has created some anger in you. But the anger isn't necessarily a bad thing if you can channel it. So through the spiritual process of feeling lost, you're probably getting into emotional turmoil because of that, and you need to break through that, and then it'll fire you up. This isn't necessarily a bad card. Building up emotions, overwhelming thoughts. So all of this is coming from the awakening, but you need to cut those free in order to let the phoenix rise. And this comes from obviously your self-love. Pile 1, pile 2 had that, I believe. if you were drawn to pile 2 and the moss agate moon, you might find some other words of wisdom there. I don't know. Self-love was in that, but union, second chance. So this is about rebuilding. I'm hearing rebuilding, which will fire you up, and this will come from self-love. But more importantly, because I'm not saying this is the main focus, I think your self-love is there. It's just that you feel lost and directionless because you're going through a transformation involving your emotions, which are coming, but you've been distracted. There's been a lot coming at you, messages, etc. So this is a call for you to get back to the basics. Self-treatment. Self-treatment meaning do some self-love. Take care of yourself. That's what I'm getting here. So I'll draw from the Green Witch's Oracle deck a couple cards or one card, depending on what it wants for me to do. Angel Spirit guides give. I want to unblock the muse. How to unblock the muse? Invigorate, empowerment, potion. Yeah. Okay, so I am going to read this card because I want to see what the Green Witch's Oracle deck has to say about potion. If it's going to let me. I'm also... No, it's not coming. I usually just let things come. If they come, they don't. If they don't, then I know I'm not supposed to say much about it. Especially with this, for some reason, there's something about this deck that it actually talks to me. There it is. It just, what energizes you on a daily basis? Yeah, this goes to this sort of fired up idea. So, a small infusion of intention, even with just a drop, can invigorate you and get you back on track if you're feeling out of control. Any act done with intention can stimulate forward momentum. Choosing to empower yourself with a small gesture of concentrated magic can refresh you enough to galvanize your message, your motivation. Yeah, so this is being fired up, which is a very different from the other recent readings, and actually they've all been different, which is always interesting to me. Firing up and cutting the cords of potentially, not cutting cords, but freeing the phoenix spiritually, and that'll allow you to get to your muse. So small steps of motivation. So firing yourself up daily with just small things. It doesn't have to be big. And that will give you direction. You will stop feeling so lost. That small fire up of following whatever you're passionate about in every one day, that will bring your muse back. That will unblock the muse, because it's like, wow, I'm doing this. It's like when I started this channel, I just started small and just kept doing, and it's still small. But that's okay, because I'm doing it anyways. I don't need anything back. I just give it out there, and hopefully I'm giving back enough that people will see this and find some comfort in it, or find some inspiration themselves in it. So that's what the suggestion is. I'm also getting the words, use small prompts, use book prompts, go online and do a search for story prompts. Use AI, for example, and just say, hey, ChatGPT, give me a story prompt. I'm not suggesting you have it write it. The tool itself is very beneficial because it gives you ideas, but take that idea and then use your creative side of you to write around it. Create something of your own around it. That will unlock that muse. Small steps, small like story prompts if you're a writer, music prompts if you're a musician. It just writing seems to be part of this for some reason. Or just creating something, like creating small, like seeing Etsy. I love Etsy because there's so many creators on there and so many interesting different things that you can get online from that. And I got that, as I mentioned, I got those latest crystals that I have here from an Etsy store. That must be that person's passion. I can actually feel that it's her passion. This is what she does. She likes to give out these things. It's wonderful. So that was the last card from the Green Witch's Tarot, but I meant to go back to this one, Lost in Space, see what it says. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so like a newborn baby who needs swaddling to feel safe, you're invited to reduce your life visioning to the next 24 hours. Yeah, so direction, you need direction. Potion, invigorate and empower. Get fired up over the little things, the small motivations. You get lost in space when you imagine being swallowed up by the giant vastness of the future, which is a dark uncertainty, or reflect on how your past has held you captive. Take heart that the simple 24-hour container immediately banishes those two awful eternities away. You will find your energy and focus restored as you recognize that you were never lost at all. Keep it simple. Right now, conserve your energy and take care of you in basic fundamental ways, and the world will be right again. Yeah. So that's that self-love. Take something and do something for yourself, self-treatment. And then think in terms of small portions, not the potion, portions. And you will be able to find motivation and get fired up. And that will lead you to that phoenix, to that way of moving forward. And don't be afraid of being lost. That happens to all of us. And being lost means that you're on the verge of awakening. When you feel lost, it's only a matter of time before you'll get back. And this is saying 24 hours. Just keep it in a 24-hour lock space. And that 24 hours, take us some small steps, get some of those prompts, and then move from there. I hope that helps. Pile 3, thank you so much for coming to my reading. If you like and subscribe, that would be also great. And leave a comment if you so desire. Take care. Bye.